Welcome back. Is the media finally waking up to the abuses of power under the Obama administration and the Trump-Russia probe? And for the first time, did James Comey, former FBI director, finally admit that, yes, there was wrongdoing at the FBI on his watch? Watch this.
Should it make people look at this entire investigation differently? It seems like, given this was the most important thing, or one of the most important things the FBI was working on, that there were so many inaccuracies and an attorney lied. That's not good.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, first of all, my first reaction is that's the result of Bill Barr's worldwide dragnet. But I don't want to downplay it. And I only know what I know about this from reading it because it happened after I was fired. But that a junior lawyer changed a document for reasons I can't understand from the public record, that's serious. That ought to be taken seriously.
Okay, let's welcome Republican Doug Collins of Georgia. You sit on House Judiciary. Great to see you, Congressman. Okay. Comey first says everything the FBI did, it's good to see you, everything the FBI did in the Trump-Russia probe was above board, but now he admits there are problems. But here's what he left out there, Congressman. James Comey left out that Kevin Kleinsmith, the former FBI attorney who's now under indictment, lied to, basically misled the powerful FISA court by doctoring a document to cover up that Carter Page really was a CIA source. He actually was an FBI source. Your reaction to what James Comey and the media is now saying?
I don't believe a word James Comey said. It's good to be with you tonight, and here we are again on the James Comey I'm innocent tour, which is really a shame because, look, let's go back, and he talked about timing of him not being there. This probe goes back to Carter Page the year before when they were actually investigating the candidate Trump before he became president. You know, this just goes back to show that the corruption was deep, and that he was in the middle of it. James Comey cannot run from what he did. He was a part of this. He should be ashamed of himself. He's been wrong from day one, and now he's just trying to cover himself up. To say that this is Bill Barr's worldwide dragnet is a slur on the attorney general who's actually getting to the truth. And as far as the media actually coming around to believing this story, look, the media, the mainstream media has spent more time covering up the Obama Department of Justice, the Obama administration's involvement in this spying stuff, as Susan Rice did trying to cover up Benghazi. This is just a shame of what we're seeing, and it just goes to the heart of what you and I and many others have been talking about. Every time we peel a layer back, we see more corruption under that administration.
Yeah, I mean, Democrat-funded opposition research the FBI was using that Hillary Clinton was going to use to contest the 2016 election, the FBI under Comey was using to get FISA wiretaps that are meant to be used on terrorists. Okay, Carter Page was on with us last night, Congressman. What he told us is significant for U.S. Attorney John Durham's criminal probe of the Trump-Russia probe. It is about the FBI under James Comey, their alleged abuses, their abuses of the secret court, again, meant for terrorists. This is the FBI during the Obama administration under James Comey misleading and deceiving the FISA court. Watch this. You did tell the FBI you were a trusted CIA source, and that would explain all of your contacts with Russia, China, and even the Middle East. But the FBI set that aside. You told them that you were a CIA source.
I alluded to it, and I said, please contact me, because there's more I can explain. They never contacted me for over 5 months.
Instead, they wiretapped you. Okay, Carter Page more than alluded to it. I want to break it down for the viewer. Carter Page, Congressman, sent a letter to James Comey in September 2016 saying, yeah, I am both an FBI and a CIA source. I have been for decades. The CIA told the FBI that in August of 2016 that he is a source of the CIA. But, Congressman, the FBI did not tell the FISA court any of that when the FBI got a FISA wiretap to spy on Page just 2 months later, and that FISA wiretap, Carter Page told us, was a backdoor to spy on President Trump and his team. That's misleading the FISA court. That's perjury. Your reaction?
I'm waiting for Jim Comey to be indicted. I mean, I really am. I mean, this is the issues. I mean, he signed off on these saying that they were verified. All the substance was verified before these court documents. They verified it. And then later on, he said, well, they were salacious and unverified. You can't sign something under penalty of law, really, and lie to a court and not be held accountable for it. He's tried to remake his image so many times. But let's go back and remember, this was McCabe. This is Andrew McCabe. This is Peter Strzok. This is Lisa Page. This goes to the Orr family. It goes back to the fact that they were a concerted effort at this point to get at the the candidate for Trump at that point, and they were using these inlets to do it, even if the documents they knew were not being truthful to the court. And then it just spilled over into the administration when James Comey himself last year laughed about using the first month or so of the Trump administration to get at Michael Flynn. This is wrong. And it's breaking down even very simple is you've done this well. This should concern everybody, Republican, Democrat, Independent, doesn't matter. When this body was politically used by the Obama administration and this Department of Justice to get these documents, to falsify these documents so that they could spy upon an American citizen, that should send shivers down everyone's spine. And when it goes as high as, especially in the Flynn case, to the Vice President Obama and President Obama himself, everybody should want an answer for this.
Yeah, I mean, we understand Senate Intelligence Committee saying that, you know, their finding is that the Trump campaign welcomed help from Russia. But what we're talking about here is abuses of power. We're talking about, as you point out, what Senator Chuck Grassley said, that this is going to happen to any American citizen. When the FBI and the Obama Justice Department officials were basically abusing American U.S. intelligence, abusing the system to go after an opposition candidate, bending the rules, deceiving the FISA court, on and on and on, leaking to the media to keep the wiretap applications going to give credence to that. Your final word on that?
My final word is that is when they could have actually been protecting the integrity of our elections that they have been so screaming about and Democrats have been talking about, they chose to pick on candidate Trump's campaign to go after it because they didn't like him. You don't believe it? Look at their own words. Look at their own text. Look at their own tweets. They need to be held accountable for it. John Durham's getting to the bottom of it. They're all shaking right now because Klein Smith, I believe, is the first of the dominoes to fall. But remember, this is about a corrupted Department of Justice that Bill Barr is cleaning out, and they're worried about what they're going to find out because they didn't cover it up well enough.
Yeah, and after all those FISA wiretaps, no Trump-Russia collusion or conspiracy. Congressman, great to have you on. Come back soon.
It's always good to see you. Take care, Liz.